Mercedes made it 2 wins in a row as Lewis Hamilton won for the first time in 2.5 years. But as we head to the Hungaroring, can they make it 3 wins in a row? What is it? Is it 2019? Is it the mid-2010s? Because looking at the start of this season, this was unthinkable. But now halfway through 2024, it's on the cards.
It is on the cards. Russell, Hamilton, both way wins. Who's going to make it to a Fredo?
We're going to have to find out, but let's talk about McLaren, right? Speaking of wins, they can't get a win at the minute. I think they're in the bin. I think McLaren have had the fastest car consistently since Miami, and they've only picked up 1 win, which was at Miami. And you look at Max Verstappen, it's hard to compare him and Perez, but you look at last season, it was so much more dominant, and Perez was still shit. This season, he's not dominant, but he's still managing to finish second to ever wins, and then Russell retired this race, Norris beats Verstappen, right? Then has another poor race. Leclerc beats him at Monaco. Then the last 4 races, I believe Hulkenberg's outscored Leclerc, which is a mad stat to think of. But Hulkenberg's been really good. Max Verstappen, honestly, unless his car is half a second slower than the fastest car, I don't see how Max Verstappen loses a world title in the next couple of years. I think he's just by far the best. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, Red Bull don't have the pace, and Verstappen...
No, I don't have the pace. They have the pace, but it's not what they once had. I don't think they're the fastest car. I don't.
No, they're not, but Max Verstappen's still getting the results. If you look at points collected, I mean, he's still right up there. We talk about McLaren having the fastest car, and Norris, more often than not, still finishes behind Verstappen. So, yeah, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a title fight this season, despite it looking like the perfect chance because Red Bull aren't running away with it. But the problem is, everyone chasing Red Bull, they've all had their spells, on top, many little spells. At the start of the season, it looked like it was Ferrari. Then it looked like it was McLaren. And now we're beginning to see maybe Mercedes take that spot. So, yeah, the chasing pack, the problem is there's too many packs chasing Red Bull and not one of them can catch them up.
Speaking on Red Bull, Sergio Perez, obviously I believe it's the second last race for the summer break. We've got Spa in a week's time as well, about 10 days. Should he go? I think he should.
I mean, he should go, but he's signed a contract, so he won't go.
Yeah, but Helmut Marko's a mad bastard. Alright, we've seen Red Bull, get rid of drivers in the past. If you got rid of Albon and Gasly, I'm sorry, you have to get rid of Perez.
I'd say there's more chance of getting rid of Perez in his first season when he was actually semi-competitive.
Well, I think he's got to go, man. I actually see no argument for him. Oh, he sells merchandise in South America. Red Bull do not need merchandise sales.
Yeah,
man.
Red Bull have got enough money. Am I not right in thinking...
Look at the fuck about energy drinks they sell.
Am I not right in thinking that in the second season, after 5 races, Perez and Verstappen had 2 wins each?
First 4 races.
Oh, so it was first 4. What happened? Because see, if at that point, and you were coming off a decent first season where Perez effectively won Verstappen the title. Then in the second season, after 4 races...
No, it was 2023. That was last season. He done the 2 wins. 22, he was alright. He wasn't awful, but... pretty much ever since the 4th race last season, this guy has been awful. His average grid position since Miami is 13th.
Why is that, though?
You tell me. I have no idea.
So you're not predicting Perez for pole?
No, I'm not. But we talk about it, right, when we go through the betting. This guy is like evens for a fucking points finish these days.
Which should be printing money.
And I know we say Red Bull ain't the fastest car, right? It's give or take. Even if it's not the fastest car, say it's 3rd fastest, that's 5th and 6th locked out, because Ferrari are mince. And say it's Ferrari, right? I think you've got such a gap between the top 4 teams and the rest. It's like, how are you not finishing 8th? It's like you look at Austria, he got smoked by Hulkenberg on pure pace. Spain, he scraped past the Alpines just to finish ahead of him. He has to go, and I don't understand. Ricardo, they've been there, done that. Why not give Shinoda a chance? Has Shinoda done something behind the scenes to piss off Helmut Marko? Because I honestly don't get it. I'm not saying Shinoda's a world beater, but you know what Ricardo and Perez give you at this stage. You don't know what Shinoda gives you.
Yep, and it's not even like at this point you can argue you don't want to take the risk with Shinoda, because the Perez results are that bad that it's not a risk. You could make the case where if Perez or Ricardo, they were like giving you stability and you're like, right, they're probably not going to win races, but we know that they'll be there or thereabouts, and we know that they'll bring the car home, and we know that they'll get decent results, you know, considering the pace of the car. I mean, that's not the case anymore. See if Perez was finishing... See if when Max was finishing second and third, Perez was getting fourth and fifth or something like that. Or when Max was winning races, Perez was getting on the podium or even finishing fourth. It's like, you'd be like, right, well, fair enough. He's doing his job but as the number two, but he's not even doing his job as number two. You would think that right now, you'd think that Perez is driving a Haas that is painted in the Red Bull livery.
No, I totally agree, right? But let's just do a bit of math, right? So Red Bull are what? 152 points ahead of Mercedes, so that covers the top four. They are 71 clear of Ferrari, and they are 78.
I actually find it mad that Ferrari on 302 points. Could you just imagine if they hadn't been so shite over the past few races?
No, I know.
Because see, at one point, I actually think Ferrari were genuinely looking good to maybe challenge Red Bull for the Constructors title.
Like, Mercedes, right, 150 points behind Red Bull, or 28-1 to win the Constructors. Well, Red Bull are 2-5. I'm sorry, you would have to be mental to bet Red Bull. I would rather bet Mercedes. Because I just think Mercedes are going to outscore Red Bull and McLaren. No, not Ferrari. I think Ferrari's a wasted bet. I just think over every race, on average, Mercedes and McLaren are probably going to outscore Red Bull. Just because Perez ain't there. Like, and Max hasn't been winning recently. Besides picking up 15 and 18, it means if Norris wins and Piastri finishes, fourth, there's 37 points compared to Max's, 18 or 15?
Yeah, keep doing that every weekend. That's a decent chunk of points.
Yeah, and obviously Max is going to get his wins, but if Max wins and then it's a McLaren 2 and 3, then you're looking at 33 points and then fastest laps, etc.
He still might be picking up more points because Perez will probably be, if he's lucky, doing like 7th or 8th place.
Yeah, honestly, I don't understand the 2-5 odds. If I was Red Bull, I would be panicking. You get 2 more races here. If McLaren and Mercedes eat into that in the summer break, and say Mercedes get the 150 down to 100, which could happen.
You think if say Max gets a DNF, you don't expect Perez to pick up many points. If Mercedes or McLaren get a 1-2, you're talking almost 50 points. Yeah, get taken off you in one weekend. So the Constructors, it looks like a big gap right now. But honestly, that can quickly turn around. Although what I would say is Mercedes, I think, are too far behind. I don't think Mercedes can do it. I think McLaren, if anyone's going to do it, it will be them.
Yeah, I think the problem with Mercedes is it's me talking about them catching Red Bull, but I feel like for Mercedes to catch Red Bull, McLaren would overtake Red Bull. If that makes sense.
Aye.
So I think even if Mercedes overtook Red Bull, you'd probably be looking at McLaren ahead of them. I wouldn't be surprised if the order finished McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari.
Could happen.
And I think for a driver to win the championship, Max is probably going to win the title, by the way, by about 70 points, and he could end up finishing third in the Constructors if Perez's form continues, which I see no reason why it won't continue. But anyway, let's continue into the preview and predictions for the Hungaroring. So there is no rain scheduled, obviously it sprinkled up a bit of chaos last time out, but for pole position, it's a street track, alright? I'm thinking Ferrari are going to come back into it. Leclerc knows how to fire a lap in, but I don't think they've got the outright pace anymore. Monaco, obviously he's got the connection to Monaco being a monegasque, but in terms of pole position, it's going to have to be... I'm going to go Lewis Hamilton. He's good around the Hungaroring.
Yeah, he's got a really good record there.
He got pole last season in a car that was much worse, and Mercedes said they've unlocked the door, and I'm going to continue with the door to be unlocked.
Yep, I'm going to go with Hamilton as well. Do you think Hamilton will be thinking about cancelling this deal? Is he maybe doesn't want to go with Ferrari anymore?
I think what the thing is with Ferrari, they're always going to be there or thereabouts. Like, if he went... I think at this stage of his career, he would almost be content if he went to Ferrari and they were languishing in fourth compared to Mercedes, who were better but not winning titles. It's almost like, yeah, I'm glad I just made the move anyway, sort of deal. Anyway, into the race, right? Top 5. 5th, I'm going to go with Leclerc. 4th, I'm going to go with Russell. 3rd, Verstappen. 2nd, Norris. 1st, Lewis Hamilton. Boom. Hamilton's going to make it 2 out of 2.
No bad predictions there. I am going to go 5th place. I'm going to go Carlos Sainz in 5th. 4th, I'm going to go Max Verstappen. Third, I'm going to go Russell. 2nd, Norris. And first, Hamilton. So.
There we go. Hamilton to win, guys. Sir Lewis Hamilton. Can he make it 2 in a row? Can he make it win 104, I believe? Maybe it's more than that. Bizarre. I think the guy's won over 100 races. But anyway, we'll be back very soon. Till next time.